You can build $1 million business using just branded links. Link building with just branded links, you can build a multi-million-dollar business. I am serious. Branded links are that powerful. Hey, this is AJ from Outreach Labs, and I wanted to get into, how to actually build branded links in a way that gets you results, and what's the point of the whole thing in the first place. So if you have a website and you've been trying to improve your SEO, and you're trying to push up your rankings, and you realize that you need to do some sort of link building, well, then usually the path that people take is, okay, I have a website, these are my keywords, I want to improve my rankings for these keywords, therefore I need link building, therefore I'm going to build links to these pages that I want to rank higher. And then they build links for a while, and then nothing happens, so they get disenchanted and they say, link building doesn't work. And then they move on to something else. So we see that happening often. I want to introduce a better, easier way, because I don't know if you've ever noticed when you do some competitive research and you see these websites who are ranking for the terms that you want to rank for, and then you dig in deeper into their backlink profile and you start to see that, wait a minute, like this page only has 1 or 2 links. Like, you might think in your head, you might think, well, I only need 3 links and then I'll be able to outrank them. Or you might be thinking, wow, links don't even matter. Like, this site is ranking just based on quality content. Both of those inclinations would probably be wrong, right? What's actually going on is Google favors brands. Brands generate branded links. When I talk about branded links, I mean, I'm mostly talking about links to their homepage with their brand in the anchor text. Well, Google sees your website getting branded links, so if you apply these same practices, then Google will start favoring your brand. That's why branded links are so powerful, because you can almost blindly follow it and your rankings start to go higher. It's such a powerful thing. Favor with Google, higher rankings, stickier rankings. Everything translates into more sales, which is what we're looking for. And if it sounds, a little oversimplified, I'm just building links to my homepage using branded anchor text, how would this ever work? Well, I recorded a whole case study about how I use this exact concept to rank my agency from 0 to 52K a month in 12 months, showing you exactly what I did, what kind of links I got. So I'll link to that video here. You could kind of see what that power is. But these were some of the rankings that it helped me get. On top of that, I was able to get these additional rankings all within the first year. And it's not easy, right? Like, getting these rankings going up and down. The important part is I do have a blogger outreach services page that's ranking for these terms. However, I did not build a single link to that page. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying you don't need to. And there's a much safer way to rank these terms. And yes, this term is ranking. And the way to do it is with branded link building, especially if you have aggressive growth goals early on, right? The last thing you want to do is start giving Google signals that maybe your link building strategy isn't on the up and up, or you aren't gaining authority the right way. The way to combat that is what I'm going to show you. What I won't show you though is if you look at different YouTube videos talking about homepage link building, talking about branded link building, they're going to tell you to do brand mentions, which is find people who are mentioning your site but not linking to you, and then doing outreach to them. And they're going to tell you to do Harrow, which is you sign up for Harrow, journalists send you emails every day, and then some of them you respond to, and hopefully you get some quotes with the link back to your site. Right? Those are fine, totally fine. But those have been covered, so I want to show you something that's a little bit more unique. And to date, I haven't done any of these, right? So we've still been able to have some success. Tactic 1, I'm going to show you how to get onto listicles. And then tactic 2, I'm going to show you how to create these listicles. And both of these would have to do with your branding. So tactic 1, I'll call it the brand traffic heist. So here's an example, right? If we search for blogger outreach agencies, what we're going to find are listicles. The number 1 ranking position is a listicle. Number 2 is a listicle. Number 3 is a listicle. Oh, there I am. Okay, so that's what's going on with that keyword. Well, is there a reason why your brand shouldn't be mentioned in any of those listicles? I think you absolutely deserve to be up there. So what I did is I did a bunch of searches for stuff like blogger outreach and guest posting, and I pulled anyone who was ranking within the top 50. And here's an example of some outreach I did for this website. They were listing 20 different agencies. I wanted to be the 21st. So this is the email I sent him. I'm looking to get my new agency added to this blogger outreach services. And I linked to it. And I said, would love to do some link swaps with you to make it happen. Or happy to pay as well. What do you think? So he ended up responding, and he wanted payment for it. So I think he charged me like $70. And I said, I'll pay you $100 if you list me in the top 3. He said, okay. And I had one of my very first links. Another example is this onehourprofessor.com best guest posting services page. This is the email I sent him. Mr. 1 Hour Professor, do you want a link from one of these? And I was doing lots of guest posting at the time, so I linked to some of my drafts. And I said, in exchange, I'd like to suggest that you add my agency to your list. Let me know what you think. I can provide a full. And then he responded positively. And then we did a swap, right? So there was an example of something that was paid, and there was an example of something that was a swap. So that's the general cadence here. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Just think about, you need branded links. What kind of articles in your industry can you get branded links from? For us, that's listicles and expert quotes. You build a list, but you want to write an email that'll get a response. So you have to offer something. And then for us, we're building a lot of links, so we offer them a swap. And then we have some budget for this as well. Worst case, we'll pay. All you need to do is that for a few months, and you start getting some really good links. And some of these links actually have some visibility as well. Tactic number 2, I'll call it the reviewer. And what's really cool here is sometimes I wake up, I check the Ahrefs backlink report, and it says I have a new backlink. And what's interesting about this is I did not build this link. Someone else wrote this article. They did research to find they looked at different listicles to find who the best agency was. And then they wrote their own article, and they included me, and they linked to my site. And how cool is that, right? Well, you can improve the chances of this happening by writing and publishing some listicles yourself. So here's an example of 3 listicles that I wrote and got published onto some good sites. That is not the correct URL. This is. It's top SEO agencies for link building, written by me. We've got another article here, written by me. And you can see, they're just big, long articles. This one, I didn't even rank myself in the top. I ranked another agency. So what I'm basically trying to accomplish here is I want to control the narrative, get my agency mentioned across as many relevant articles as I can now. When we talk about branding, and the thing about Harrow is, you get these great links, but often they're not topically relevant to anything that you're doing. And look at the URLs here. Top SEO agencies for link building, blogger outreach agencies, best link building packages. This is all perfectly aligned with what I do, right? So I'm getting onto articles that cover my keywords, but my links are branded. So that's a great way to kind of get keyword juice flowing back to your site while not risking yourself of being too aggressive. And this part is key, right? If you figure out the cadence for okay, I'm going to write 50 to 100 of these, and I'm going to ship these out 5 at a time and just get these awesome links. Well, it becomes easy to detect patterns when you do this at scale. So one of the things that I like to do is I need to make sure it feels like every review article is written by somebody else. So I do have several freelance writers. So each writer is responsible for writing certain things. But each article is pre-planned. And this is some of the things we pre-planned. The title, what agencies will include. You'll see it's kind of randomized. So, what I did is I identified 70 agencies. And the goal is always to rank ourselves within the articles near the top. And then I want to randomly mention other agencies so that, I other people use this strategy, but the strategy they always use is themselves ranked as number one, linking to them, and then all the other agencies don't have links or they're no followed links or whatever. And it's just obvious who commissioned that article. So that makes it easy to ignore or hard to trust. For me, I like to create content that looks like it was generated by a third party. This is the basis of how you build a strong SEO brand. So in addition to that, each review is, okay, this one starts with a company name, then has a description, then unique selling points. The second one will have company name and services and highlights and pricing. So you get super granular where you're not creating the same patterns and different writing styles, different ways of like linking to your page, different anchor text types. So as you scale these things up, I mean, maybe this feels overkill to you, but once you get to the point of 50, 60 links, like you'll be super thankful that you spent the time to do that. And then, how do you approach the bloggers? Well, the thing I did is I wrote the articles first, and then I looked for places to publish them. So this is an example of an email I wrote. I'm writing an article that targets the keyword link building packages. It's not finalized yet, but I'm looking for a place to publish it. It could complement this other article you have on can you have a look? Again, it's not final. Let me know what you think. He responded with interest. Here's another one. We have a guest post that's ready for publishing that might be a good fit for Power. Here's a topic. Let me know if you like it. He responded. He had some edits. I made the edits, and then we were able to publish it. All right, so that kind of thing. Super, super powerful. So those two strategies right there, I think that can take you really far if you're looking to build branded links that go to your homepage. And you could even use these for commercial page links, but I would stick to like branded anchor text, because this is one of the more natural ways to also get commercial page links, because this is where you get those in like listicles. You just have to make sure you're linking to other competitors' pages as well. Otherwise, it just doesn't look as natural. Anyway, that's the strategy. I hope you found some value out of it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me, ajay@outreachlabs.com. Thanks a lot.